Hot Topics. Leading edge techniques and tackle designed to put more fish in your boat. Brought to you by Johnsonville.
You know, on musky fishing, soft plastics is really one of the new things that's been real effective. For walleye fishing, it's even gotten a little more technical. For this week's Johnsonville Brats Hot Topics, let's go out on the water to Gary. He's going to tell you a little bit more about Berkley Gulp. Basically, this stuff looks, feels, even tastes and smells like the real thing. And if they look and smell anything like these Johnsonville brats, the fish aren't going to be able to resist them.
A couple of years ago, people would ask, when do you use plastics for walleyes? And you know, it was kind of a definitive answer. From my standpoint, I always felt that you would use plastics on jigs, in particular on jigs, for walleyes when you had aggressive fish populations. And for example, I'm talking about when you go to Canada, shallow water scenarios, river scenarios. Those would be the parameters in the past that I would say you would want to consider the use of plastics for walleye fishing. But that was 2 years ago. Times have changed. And the reason for that is because of a new material. This Berkley Gulp material is what I'm talking about. It's not a plastic, it's water soluble. It's not a petroleum-based product. So being water soluble, it actually is more permeable to scent. The little 3-inch minnow tail is probably the most popular of all. And the two colors that I like to use the most are this new smelt color, and then the other color that I like to use is called black shad. It's pretty simple hooking them up. You actually will just thread the hook on like if you're putting it in the mouth of a real minnow. And then it's really important that you come out exactly in the center of the back of the minnow. Then you just push the head right up to the head of the jig, like so. Gulp product is actually a little more limber than most plastics. This flopping action is what walleyes like. Now, there are times when I'm vertical jigging where I'll use the tail as the bottom component, then I'll use a small 2-inch fathead minnow on top, and I'll thread the minnow on top. And so I have a double offering. I'll have an artificial on the bottom and a real minnow on top. I do that all the time now, but I'm not using real minnows. Double tail gives you twice the flipping action. The only thing that I do different is I take the Gulp 3-inch minnow and I actually kind of pinch it off at an angle. And you'll see I'll just kind of tear it off. Okay, so it's a little bit of an angle like you see here. Then I'll hook that underneath just like if it would be a real minnow so that it's riding in tandem on top. So now we've got kind of a piggyback situation. This is exactly how I would hook the real minnow up, but now I'm using 2 artificial tails. This tail's hooked on just slightly. Quite often, if they pluck that off, they'll come back and hit the second one.